Coming up on this episode of SEVA TV,
we learn to be ourselves, start drumming for mindfulness, and learn the truth about anxiety.
Stay tuned for all this and more, only on SEVA TV. Hi, and welcome to SEVA TV. My name's Nabayo.
And I'm Charlie.
And we'll be your hosts.
Yep, and today is my favorite episode.
Why is that?
Because it's all about me.
No, today's episode's about self-help.
Right, self-help, i.e. me.
In that case, I guess you're right, but it's more about you, me, and the guys too.
I still remember when we first met.
Hey, mind if I sit here?
No, go ahead. He was kind without trying.
Got you some flowers.
He always knew how to make me laugh, but I guess there were things I didn't know. I guess it all got to be too much.
Sarah, you know it's not your fault, right?
I mean, I know that, but I just can't believe he's gone. Say something before it's too late.
Do you think you have low self-esteem? Well, don't let that get you down. There are so many ways to boost your self-esteem.
My video is called Low Self-Esteem. My video is basically talking about low self-esteem and how you can have happier mind and stuff. And yeah, I was kind of creative too because I made some drawings to go with it. It's kind of a animation. I made it in a program called Flip-A-Clip. I did pretty much everything from the drawings to the voiceover and the editing. I learned a lot of stuff, like how depression and low self-esteem are basically different things, even though they're really similar. Videos can be a powerful tool to bring people into whatever situation you're in. First, before we get into the topic of what I'm going to talk about, what exactly is self-esteem? Self-esteem, according to Google, is confidence in one's worth or abilities or self-respect. So basically, a person with a good amount of self-esteem believes that they can accomplish anything with their skills and become a better person overall. But what happens if we take that away from them? People with low self-esteem tend to feel negative towards themselves, saying they're no match for life's challenges, being socially awkward, and feeling as if nobody wants to hang out with them. These kinds of people tend to get mentally hurt easier than others due to the lack of faith in themselves. But while they are very similar, it's important to know the difference between low self-esteem and depression. Although you usually feel like the human equivalent of trash every day, having low self-esteem doesn't usually interfere with day-to-day activities like chores and school. But depression isn't just sadness. Being majorly depressed completely drains your energy and makes everyday life even harder. Some studies have shown that self-esteem is usually stable, while depression is constantly changing over time. In fact, being negative to yourself alone has some pretty nasty effects on the body when bad thoughts are often circling around in your head. A study has shown that stress and negativity for a long time can cause damage to the immune system, making you more vulnerable to diseases. But what can we do to stop the bad talk in our brain? According to various sources, it's actually really simple. Quit listening to the voice in your head and try being more positive about yourself. You can recognize when you start having these kinds of bad thoughts and then not accept its poor criticism. You can think of it as a person insulting you. You can easily tell them to stop talking or ignore them, so try taking this approach and responding to the voice in your head. Another way is that you can overcome this by writing a negative thought on a piece of paper, then making a positive counterpart of that. Like this. You could do, "You're stupid," to, "I may struggle sometimes, but I'm smart in many different ways." "Nobody likes you," to, "Although I can't make everyone happy, I know that there are still people who accept me for who I am." "Why can't you be like other people?" to, "I may be different from other people, but that's okay." Now you need to start accepting yourself for your mistakes and differences. Self-compassion is like treating yourself like a friend. A good friend would never make fun of you for who you are. Some research has even shown that self-compassion is even better for the mind than self-esteem. Although it sounds real easy Self-compassion is kind of hard at first. You'll eventually get the hang of it later on when you keep practicing. Here are some ways you can practice self-compassion. Number 1, acknowledge and notice your suffering. Number 2, be kind and caring in response to suffering. And 3, know that we're all human and we make mistakes. Also, don't compare yourself to other people. There's always someone who's better at something than you are, but that's okay. Stopping this habit and thinking about who you want to be is a good way to start. Then setting up your goals to become that person is even better. You can also try making other people happy to boost your own confidence. For example, I challenge myself to hold a door for at least someone every day whenever I'm going somewhere. Perform some random acts of kindness. You can even help homeless people and donate money to the hospital. Whatever helps you overcome negativity, I wish you good luck. And stay positive!
Although it's called self-help, that doesn't necessarily mean you need to get help all by yourself. In fact, the students over at Pleasant Grove High School believe in sharing your stress. So let's check out the short PSA.
Do you know how you can save a life? Well, Sarena from Franklin High School does, and she would like to share some advice with you on how to help people with suicidal thoughts in this animated PSA.
The name of my video is To Save a Life. My video was a public service announcement and it focused on suicide prevention. What I wanted to do with my video is to connect with people, especially through my art. The storyline of my video follows 2 girls. Delilah saw that Roxy was suicidal, and so she reached out. The clear image in my mind that I focused basically my whole PSA on was that Delilah was putting suicidal thoughts in her backpack, and then as she was walking, her backpack grew and grew until it was like weighing her down, and she eventually fell down on the ground and it was a silhouette. And Delilah came in and was like saved her from her suicidal thoughts and took the backpack off as she reached out for help. So that was one way I tried to portray that reaching out kind of helps lessen the burden for that someone who may be dealing with that whole image in mind of the backpack scene. I started with that and then it kind of bloomed from there.
It's hard to tell what someone is thinking. However, if you are someone or you know someone that is contemplating suicide, connect them with help as soon as you can. Not doing anything enables them to suffer in silence and possibly make a permanent decision for a temporary problem. Suicide is preventable. Expressing your concern and treating them seriously about the issue is one of the best ways to save a life. To connect with help, call 1-800-273-TALK or go to suicideispreventable.org.
Ms. Din has been a teacher at Galt High School for many years. She also volunteers at hospitals where she plays soothing drums to reduce stress and anxiety within patients. Let's observe as she brings the drumming to her students as well.
Well, I've been a teacher at Galt High School in California for a number of decades, and I love teaching. It's something that I was born to do, and it's my passion, but also it's my passion to do volunteer work at various hospitals in the area, such as UC Davis Children's Hospital. Well, drumming is considered a mindfulness practice, and 5 years ago, I met Dr. David Steinhorn at UC Davis Medical Center, and he actually had me come in to work with his pediatric patients in the ICU to bring drumming as a way of calming the patients down and bringing them some peace when they were in the midst of really horrendous medical conditions. When I started introducing drumming to my classroom of students, I said to them, how much stress and anxiety are you experiencing now? And it touched my heart how much they were experiencing that they hadn't experienced before. For example, a year ago, one of our well-loved teachers, our drama teacher, Mr. Nunez, actually died one evening working late in preparation for a play. He died at his desk, and that had a very difficult impact on all of our students and staff. When I drum for students, basically, they often ask me, they'll walk into class and they'll say, Ms. Din, I'm feeling stressed right now. Can you drum for us today?
It has helped me in many ways because it has helped both my mind and my body relax, and it helps me stay in the present moment and forget about things that I'm worried, either from my past or from things that I think about in the future, and it makes me be in the present moment in order for me to either move on or concentrate in what I'm doing in school.
I lost people in the past, like everybody else. I lost my grandma, and a year later I lost my cousin. And I would hold in that pain to stay strong for my parents and my siblings. But that drumming helped me release that pain I had. I went to the classroom and Ms. Din started drumming for us. And I put my head down on my desk and she just started drumming. When I woke up, I didn't know what was going on. I had tears in my eyes, I was crying, and I went home that whole week and I would wake up crying, but it would be like a good crying. I would feel like better about myself.
So, just to kind of sum up, what would you say to someone that asked you, what is the purpose for drumming? Why do you do that in class anyway? What would you say is the biggest benefit?
To find a better way to relax yourself and release stress.
To find a better way to relax yourself and to release stress. To heal your mind and soul. I like that you repeated that, to heal your mind and your soul.
To bring yourself to the present moment.
To bring yourself to the present moment, exactly. Because there's a lot to be stressed about right now in the world. I knew that my students have been experiencing such a high level of stress and anxiety that I've never seen before in all my years of teaching. And so when I started thinking about the fact that I'm bringing drumming into major medical hospitals, why not do that in my classroom as well? Well, I just really want to thank my principal, Ms. Kelly Beck, for supporting all of this through the use of the financial resources to purchase the class set of drums for my students to use, because since my students will go out to the elementary schools as interns during my class period to teach lessons, the students are able to borrow a drum and take it out to the elementary classroom and drum for the students too.
Don't let your mental health define who you are. Reaching out and getting the help you need to prevent suicide is easier than you think. In fact, Andres has prepared a short video for demonstration.
I'm not here. Physically, I'm right next to you. Internally, I'm constantly surrounded by my own pain. My mental health does not define me. I recognize now, in order for me to escape this torturous pain and darkness, I need to reach out and get help. To learn more and join the mental health movement, visit eachmindmatters.org.
Eating disorders such as anorexia or bulimia can make it difficult to maintain a healthy diet, but with the right treatment and support from friends and family, it can be managed. Chloe from Sutter Middle School sat down with her brother to discuss some of the challenges living with the eating disorder might create.
To the Bone is about anorexia nervosa and how it happens and how people can cope with it, or how you can help out another friend that's going through it. I interview my brother who has anorexia, and then I kind of talk about this recovery center down in SAC, about what they do and how to help. I hope people learn that anorexia is not just like a disorder, it's an illness of the mind, and that it can really affect someone's life. My favorite part about making my SEVA was getting to learn more about what was going on with my brother and really like telling the story of what could happen or what was happening.
Hey, it's Chloe. I'm here with AJ to talk about his personal experience with the eating disorder known as anorexia. So what drove you to the idea of losing weight?
Honestly, the negativity from school that I always got about either being chubby or having chubby cheeks, or I guess what you guys call it, bullying. I was bullied all through junior high and high school. Depression, really bad, and because of that it drove to anorexia, or not feeling good about my body and who I was.
How did you cope and deal with your anorexia, and did anyone else help you throughout this?
How did I cope? It's pretty hard actually to cope with anorexia. It takes a lot of mental strength especially. I did have a little bit of help along the way. Having good friends, bringing good friends and good vibes and people into my life. Not feeling good about yourself, and you eventually start not feeling good about what you're doing to yourself. You find other ways, other outlooks to change that. I definitely had a little bit of help, by helping yourself first, and that's what I had to do. Stay strong. I would say start to learn to love yourself. Once you start doing that, everything else that comes your way, or every problem or obstacle that you have to face, becomes a little bit more easier. So I would definitely just say, love yourself, have self-respect, self-worth, just be who you are.
What were some of the habits that you started doing?
Anorexia is an eating disorder. I was more of the person to not eat. I'd forget to eat, or I'd make myself forget to eat. Then I would go all day without eating, and if somebody, tried to make me eat, I'd eat, but then I'd throw it up. It really honestly started within my own home with my parent, dealing with a lot of emotional abuse at school sometimes, but I'd usually wait. I wouldn't eat at school at all. I'd usually wait till I got home, make myself forget to eat, so that way I would lose weight. And a lot of the times people do lose weight, but sometimes that can also cause people to gain weight. I was the type to lose weight. Well, why am I doing this to myself? Why do you want to make yourself feel like crap or not? Eventually I stopped.
Thank you.
When you feel like giving up on recovery, just remember why you've held on for so long, holding on. If you're struggling with an eating disorder, it's highly recommended for you to seek help. You can find help from many residents, such as the Eating Recovery Center in Sacramento, California. They treat much more than just anorexia, such as ARFID, bulimia, binge eating, compulsive, diabulimia, and OSFED. They do their best and provide just enough to have each of their clients come home in recovery. ERC also provides multiple magazines that have tips and tricks to help. With anorexia, it includes inpatient treatments, residential and hospitalization, plus outpatient treatments. If you feel like you need help, call or text 877-711-1690 to start a path to a new you.
You too can recover.
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 You've got this. Love you.
For our last video today, we take a look at the truth behind anxiety. In this documentary from Cordova High School, Emily addresses the issues that are often overlooked in regards to this mental disorder.
Anxiety, a word me and many other teenagers know a little too well. Most adults and people of the older generation seem to think that anxiety is just a made-up illness that many teenagers say they have for attention, when in reality it is very heartbreaking, it affects your life, and it stops you from living a carefree and happy life. These are our teenage years, the years where we are supposed to be able to experience everything and anything we possibly can while we still have time. But most teens now in 2019 suffer from anxiety so much that we don't go out and live the teenage experience like we're supposed to. So here's my question, adults and older generation. Why do you believe we are making this up? When an adult says they are nervous, or when an adult says they are scared, or an adult says they just have too much on their plate right now, we allow it. We try to help them and we try to fix the issue that's occurring in their lives. But when a teenager says it, or a teenager says they have anxiety right now, or a teenager says they just can't handle this much homework, we make fun. I, from personal experience, have it told to me that you're just a teenager. You don't have this many issues in life. You don't have to worry about stuff like I do. Teenagers suffer from anxiety to the point where we are breaking down. Teenagers suffer from anxiety to the point where we are committing suicide because we cannot handle it anymore. And while anxiety is not one of the many mental illnesses that can cause teenagers to break down and feel like nothing, it is a major one. I decided to interview 3 teenagers that I know suffer from anxiety so they can voice their own opinion on the topic. Now adults, when you watch this video, I want you to know one thing. These are true high school students. These are their true words, their true thoughts. So please listen and have an open mind. Do you suffer from anxiety?
Yes.
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 Okay. So do you think anxiety is talked about as much as it should be?
I think it's more acceptable to talk about it nowadays because of social media. But I think it could definitely be brought up more often in conversation.
I think it's talked about in a light that makes fun of it and not like it's as serious as it really is.
I don't think so. I think people focus on depression, which is reasonable and valid, but anxiety kind of hurts more.
What do you wish people who didn't have anxiety knew about it and how it affects people who do?
It's not just something that teenagers make up for attention, and it is debilitating in everyday life.
It's more than just a tiny little fear problem. It's really big and it takes over someone. It really holds you back from living your life happily and carefree.
It feels like you know there's something bad that's going to happen, but there's no way of preventing it. So you're just sitting there worried, and there isn't like, you know, like how when in a game there's like the scary music and you start getting anxious, it's like there's that scary music throughout the entire day.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of SEVA TV.
If you'd like to see more student videos or want to find out how you can enter to the SEVAs, please check out our website at secctv.org.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Nabayo.
Thanks for watching.